Welcome back to day 50 of online learning. Today we're going over Unit 8, Lesson 3.1. And what we're doing today is we're focusing on multi-step problems and also focusing on patterns in some of these problems. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull up our lesson goals and objectives and our standards for today's video. Your lesson goals and objectives for today's video are that I will be able to solve and represent multi-step problems that have more than one operation. So that means that there's either addition, subtraction, multiplication, and or division. And I will be able to represent and explain a pattern. What we're starting today is we're going to be talking about the magic marbles of Romar. And that's going to be when we're trying to figure out, we're solving problems about magic marbles that children on the planet Romar receive as gifts. So these children on Romar can use these magic marbles to buy toys, books, snacks, and any other things that they would like. So the first 20 nights of every year, each child on Romar is visited by a magical marble messenger who leaves the child the same number of marbles every single night. So the weird thing though, is that the number of magic marbles received by one child each night might be different than a number of magic marbles received by another child each night. So different Romarian children can get different numbers of magic marbles for 20 nights. So for example, I can get a different number of marbles each night than Miss Palermo or Miss Spears would get. So the magic marble messenger gives different amounts per child. No one on Romar knows exactly why the magic marble messengers do things this way. But the magic marbles are so valuable that a lot of children don't use all their magic marbles in any one year and could maybe save some for the next year. So that means every year some children start with leftover marbles, some start with 0 marbles, and some start with nothing. So on the first night of the year, each child finds out how many marbles they're going to receive each night for 20 nights. So here's a chart that shows how many magic marbles 2 different children on Romar received. So Franek started with 30 marbles because she saved some over from last year. And each night, she's going to be getting 3 marbles every night. But Bolar started with no marbles. He already spent all of them the year before, but he gets 5 marbles each night. So they get 2 different amounts, but they get the same amount each night. So Bolar gets 5 every night, and Franek gets 3 marbles every night. So here's a chart that shows these 2 different children, and it includes how many magic marbles they have left over from the year before and how many they're going to get every night. So what you're going to be doing for your have to is you're going to be thinking about how many does each child have after 1 day, have after 2 days, 10 days, 20 days. So of course you need to think about at the end of the first 20 days of the year, when they're going to be able to spend their magic marbles, how many magic marbles will they have? So what I want us to do is we're just going to think about the first night that one of these children gets magic marbles. So let's think about Franek. If Franek started with 30 marbles and nightly gets 3 marbles, how many marbles did she get after the first night? After the first night, she would have 33 marbles. Now let's think about Bolar. If he starts with 0 marbles, because he already spent all of the ones, he has nothing left over, and he gets 5 each night, how many would he have after the first night? Bolar would have 5 marbles after the first night. So it's important for you to understand that they're getting the same amount every single night. Every single night, Franek is getting 3 more marbles. Every single night, Bolar is getting 5 marbles. So let's just think I'm going to use a table so we can go over an example. So let's say that Bolar, we're going to start with a table and represent it with number of nights and then number of marbles. So what I would need to do with number of nights, I need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the way down to 20, because I'm trying to figure out how many marbles they had after 20 nights. And so then I know that Bolar is getting 5 marbles each night, but he started with nothing. So the first night he would have 5 marbles. And then the second night, what I would be thinking is if there's 2 nights, it'd be 2 nights times 5 marbles, which would equal to 10 marbles. And then 3 nights, I would do 3 nights times 5 marbles equals how many marbles? So for your have to today, what you're going to do is you're going to choose either Bolar or Franek. It's your choice. You would only have to do 1 page of your have to. And you're going to tell me by making a table or any sort of representation that makes the most sense to you, how many marbles are they going to have after 20 nights? So I'm going to pull up our have to right now so you can take a look at it. So for your have to today, which is Franek marbles or Bolar's marbles, what you need to do is you're going to take one of the stories of one of the Romarian children. So you could either choose Franek or Bolar, but you don't need to choose both. And your task is to make a representation, a diagram or a picture, so either a table or a picture that helps keep track of how many magic marbles either Franek or Bolar has after 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights, all the way up to 20 nights. So then you're going to use that representation to tell how many magic marbles this child has by the end of 20 nights. So Franek has 30 magic marbles left from the year before. She was then given 3 magic marbles on the first night, 3 more magic marbles on the second night, 3 more magic marbles on the third night, and so on for 20 nights. So make a representation. That way we're able to see how many marbles Franek has on any day, but you need to go all the way up to 20 nights. Just like with if you choose to do Bolar, Bolar had no magic marbles left from the year before. He was then given 5 magic marbles on the first night, 5 more magic marbles on the second night, 5 more magic marbles on the third night, and so on for 20 nights. So again, if you choose to do Bolar, you're going to make a representation. So we're able to figure out how many marbles Bolar has on any day, all the way up to 20 nights. So make sure when you're making your representation or your table, it's very clear. That way we're able to see how many marbles they have on every night and how many they started with. Now let's take a look at your have to and success criteria for today. So for your have to today, you need to choose 1 child to work with to find out how many marbles they received after 20 nights. So either choose page 513, which is Franek marbles, or 514, which was Bolar's marbles. Then you need to practice your facts that I'm working on, division flashcards for 10 minutes, then do 15 minutes of IXL only on the highlighted skills. And your success criteria is I made a table to help me figure out how many marbles 1 child had after 20 nights. I showed my work and checked it to make sure I did the pattern correctly. And if you take a look below, you see how you will be scored based on this have to for today. So to get a 3, you need to be able to say, I completed either page 513 or 514 and figured out how many marbles after 20 nights, showed my work, practiced my basic facts, and did 15 minutes of IXL.